Greetings, Earthlings. I have another update from the Absurdium for you. Now, some of you may have heard that Israel are making overtures to Somaliland as a possible destination for the next Nakba and basically turning part of Somaliland into an open-air prison for Palestinians. But there's another angle to this as well that we need to take into account, and I'm not sure that anybody else has put these two stories together. So I'll share you a couple of stories. The second story is very short, but it adds context to this, and it's very important to understand it because it's coming only from the Israeli media. But this article from The Cradle is entitled "Site Set on Somaliland, the Threat of a Total US-UK-Israeli Takeover." As Tel Aviv and Washington quietly call Somaliland as a destination for Gaza's displaced, this British-controlled enclave on the Red Sea emerges as both a strategic imperial launchpad and a potential open-air prison for Palestinians, armed, trained and surveilled by London. Now, it's a long article, so I'm not going to go too into detail with it, but I will leave the link for you to read yourselves. Basically, Somaliland doesn't have recognition as a sovereign nation by anyone and hasn't done since it separated from Somalia in 1991. But the UK basically loosely administers it, but won't recognise it. So what we believe is happening here is that they're going to offer recognition so that they will become an official country. And then in return, they want to build an open-air prison for about 2 million Palestinians. And they want to build bases there. Now, why do they want to build bases there? Well, this is the other part of the story, and this is the pretext to wanting to do so. And personally, I can smell bullshit. This is just more colonial expansionism. This comes from Ynet, which is a famous Israeli propaganda rag. And it's entitled "The Houthi Front. Expanding their footprint, Houthis are building a terror empire in Africa with Iran's help." As Iraq tries to rein in the Houthis at home, the Iran-backed terror group is quietly expanding into Africa. The poorest country in the Middle East apparently has the ability to do this, but let's go on. Forging ties with jihadist groups, smuggling weapons and threatening key maritime routes. Recent Arab media reports claimed Iraq is attempting to curb the presence of Houthi terrorists on its soil. First I've heard about it. The Iran-backed terror group, which controls northwestern Yemen, is said to have operatives training in Iraq and stationed in Baghdad's political and diplomatic centres. But while Iraq tries to push back, the Houthis are quietly extending their reach, this time into Africa, in what analysts warn is a dangerous and unexpected expansion. I'd love to know who those analysts are. That's literally the article. So they're starting to sow the seeds, as the Israelis like to do, to tell you what their next step or rung on the ladder is. And they want to occupy the Horn of Africa now. And that's a good thing, right? And in return, Somaliland will let them build a massive open-air prison for Palestinians. So anyway, keep your eyes open on that one. And keep an eye on Turkey and what's going on with Israel, because that is starting to simmer after Israel bombed the fuck out of the T4 base that Turkey was going to occupy. It's completely destroyed, so they would literally have to rebuild it. Okay, have a good week, everyone.